Thank you again, friend, sister friend, for being here for me and showing up. Everyone, welcome to the Art Remedy. My name is Britt, and I'm here with my amazing friend all the way from college, BCU. And we're here to have a deep, intimate talk about creativity as it pertains to relaxation. Disclaimer. This is not art therapy, nor are we suggesting anything to replace therapy. Get what you need because you deserve your help. And we're just gonna dive in. Rachel, how are you feeling today?
Today I'm feeling pretty good. A little cold, but overall really good.
I have been watching you flourish for the past, I don't know, has it been 2 years
Probably 2
of
years,
you
yes.
without? It's been beautiful to watch. So I just had to bring you on here and just talk about what you've experienced leaving corporate work and figuring out the flow of your life and what is gravitating towards you. When we spoke a little bit, I love the term that you used about purposeful mastery and designing your life. And I wanted to ask, you describe shaping your life as a sense of design. So what exactly do you mean by that?
I sort of mean figuring out what I want my life to look like, not anything that's related to what society thinks or what my family thinks or what I feel like I should do, but what I want to do. So that has been really leaning into things that make me feel good, which are being creative, plants, as you can see in the back, working out, gardening, moving my body. Those are things that really make me feel good. So it's more of like, how can I do more of that?
What
So
was the moment where you felt like was the stopping point?
honestly, it was a conversation that me and my husband had. We had went out to dinner one night. It was one of those long days where I got up at 5 a.m. I got home at 8 p.m. Dinner wasn't made. We had to go get something to eat. And he was just like, you are really unhappy and it's like showing. And I could see it's affecting you and it's affecting us. And at that point, I really had like a come to Jesus moment, where I was like, okay, I can't spend one more minute doing this. I have to let this go.
That was Thank you for sharing. That was I fully resonate with that because the industry is heavy. It's a lot to take in. But I wanted to go back the fact that he saw it in you. What do you think was it that he saw and was just like, there's no more of this? Like, can you
Um, Honestly, for the past 2 years, he had been telling me, "Hey, like this, you don't seem happy. Like you could find something else. You could do something else." And I was like, "No, no. Like, I'm a strong Black woman. I gotta be the one to like, be out here. Like, this is my career. Like." And I felt like I had it all under control, and like, I could, make my own destiny and do my own thing. And I think it was a combination of just burnout and just genuinely not wanting to do it anymore. Where it was just like, okay, this person is saying like you could quit your job and figure things out and it'll be okay. Like why
was
don't
that
you?
hard for you to hear?
It was hard. It was very hard. Yeah.
Because you probably grew up very independent.
Yes, as the oldest child, I could definitely say that that is 100% true. Where it's like you feel like you have to save the day. I don't know if you've seen Encanto, like the strong sister. I'm the strong sister. Okay, so
By
I don't know.
choice or just because you were the oldest?
I think by choice and by like being the oldest. So it's
Okay.
like you always feel like that sense of responsibility. Like, you don't
Yes.
want to just be, chilling. But at that moment, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna chill.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm the oldest too, and I carry that, and it's just like it's such a lot to carry on your shoulders, and you just feel like the second mom. And if they need help, it has to be you. And it
Mhm.
gets tiring. I've learned to just be like, no. Like as I got older, I'm just like, it's not gonna be me.
Yeah. It's hard though, because it's like a
Yeah.
default in your brain because you've been doing it like, forever. So
Exactly. It is a repetitive reminder to just always step up and be there for other people. I
mhm.
love the fact that you have a partner in your life who acknowledges your energy levels and allows you to take a huge step and choose your well-being over a career path. When you took time away, what was the first thing that you did?
Because I'm the natural planner, I was like, okay, so it's gonna be like a few weeks, and then I'm gonna get back into it, and like sort of like trying to come up with a plan because I'm a planner and I'll have control issues, so I want to control everything in that way. But then that fell by the wayside because it was just like you need to rest, like you need to just
Mm.
relax. So that was more in actuality what happened.
Okay, I love that. I love that. It's like we're like in this working mentality and we're just
All the
like
time.
going, going. And even when you had the opportunities to rest, you
Yes.
looked at it like I need to plan my relaxation rather than just being. So I love that you use the word relaxation because that is the point of this whole podcast and me stepping out and talk to different people in different walks of life. So what did your relaxation encompass? What did you start doing to relax?
Honestly, I just started, I wasn't waking up at 5 a.m. anymore. So waking up at 7. I just didn't pack my days so tightly. So like I said in the beginning, I like movement. I like moving my body. I like to run, do a lot of yoga. So it was waking up when I felt like it, doing yoga, eating things that I wanted to eat, and just overall moving slower.
Moving slower. Were you active when you were working?
So that's the crazy part. Yeah. Your girl was running like half marathons and 5K, and I kind of put it together because I was so stressed out. I had to move even more. And now that I'm less stressed out, it's like I don't even have to do that much to feel like good or centered.
Do you think that you use exercise as a way to release stress, anxiety?
100%.
So you probably did it more
Correct.
than you needed when you actually took a sabbatical,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
And just full disclaimer, this conversation is not to tell anyone to leave their job, but to have those
Yes.
check-in moments with
Yes.
yourself. If you have vacation time or you're about to have a breakdown, take it. That your mentality and your emotional levels take priority. So
Yeah.
we're not saying quit your job.
No, 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 and I will say, like, that it had been building for years and years, and I was planning on switching to, like, a local job, like,
Mhm.
financially, like, we had been preparing for this, so it wasn't just, like, a spur of the moment thing. It was more of, like, I was just prepared to stay longer just,
Mhm.
because, but yeah, don't
But
quit
you
your job if you
don't quit
can.
your job.
Yeah.
But I just again, I love the partnership and that you have someone to lean on, say
Mhm.
that first of all, you were planning to leave, but then someone saw something in you and were like, it's okay, like just do it sooner because he
Yeah.
could see that breaking point, and that is a very dangerous point to get to.
My husband's amazing. I know he's gonna watch this.
Yes, Vaughn. Shout out to Vaughn.
Yeah.
So, okay, as since you had these 6 months over this time period, what other things have you dived into to relax, to be creative, to get back to Rachel's like joy?
I think just, like, designing with my house plants, like moving them around, like spatially, making my space what I want it to be. I do a lot of gardening, so thinking about like how I want the garden to be. I do that with my mom, so that's a lot of fun. And then also I have a creative outlet, Remedy, which is more centered around plants and like making fabric planters out of scraps and just really like exploring the upcycling movement, but doing it in a slow way that makes sense for me, not trying to like rush into it, not trying to make it a business yet, but really just seeing where that can go.
I love that. How did you get into plants?
Honestly, the pandemic, that was like the first time I had paused. We had like this beautiful apartment that had like amazing windows and light finally. And I got a Monstera during the pandemic and it just like took off from there. Where I was like, oh my God, like this is so fun. I get to watch stuff grow, I get to nurture things.
I
Um,
love
yeah,
that.
so that's where it started.
Were you into plants as a child?
Yeah, so I really love the outdoors. Like our family home where I grew up looks out onto a farm, so it's like green's my favorite color. I always love running outside, doing stuff outside. My grandparents love plants, my mom likes to plant, and I never really put that together until now actually that like it's always been there. The plants have always been there.
Yes, and green, it's so funny that you're saying all this because green is connects to the chakra that is creative and
Mm,
that it's also connects to nature, but nature is grounding. Well, I don't know if you ever hear people like if you're going kind of crazy or if you feel like you're
uh-huh.
spiraling, like go outside and like touch grass, touch the earth, get some peace over yourself. So I love that the time where you were locked in, you found earth inside, and then now you're connecting the dots that this is like how you create your peace.
Yep.
It's been inspiring for me to watch because now I'm tending to my plants a little bit more and paying attention to them like they're little people because
Mhm.
I read once that your plants are a reflection of yourself. So if like they're dwindling and drying out and then you kind of feel like your life is off balance, it kind of shows you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
What have you learned about yourself when you're rethinking your life routines?
I think I've learned that again, and with that control thing where it's like, I want to be able to plan stuff out and it go exactly how I want it to, but it's more about just letting go and letting things unfold how they're supposed to and being able to trust yourself that you can handle or do whatever, comes your way. So I would
I
say
love
trust. Trust has been like the biggest, trusting myself.
that. Do you feel like you trusted yourself in your early adult life?
No. Yes, yes, I trusted my abilities, like, I trusted myself to do things, but not necessarily in, like, the way things unfold, like, I felt like it had to go a certain way or things wouldn't be okay. I had to get a certain job, I had to get a certain, amount of money or, like, it wouldn't be okay, and that's
Mhm.
just not true.
Do you feel that the time away from your job made you consider new career paths moving forward?
100%, 100% yes. I definitely feel that there's more than one way to be able to add to your career or do something different or like there's more than one way to do something, and I definitely feel like it's given me the chance to be like, okay, I could go into nonprofit, I could
Mhm.
go into project management, I could really honestly do anything. I think the thing I've learned the most is what is important to me, what are my values. For me, I really value family, so it's like, how can I have a career or job that work-life balance, that I'm doing something that aligns with my values that I care
Mhm.
about, that is, just aligns with me as a person.
That's my word this year, align.
Mm,
Not gonna tell nobody
big.
nothing, but that's just a very special word, something close to my heart. Also, it's the name of my
Yeah.
sketchbook. If anybody
Oh,
listening wants to go purchase a Black woman
get it,
sketchbook. Anyway,
get it. It's amazing.
thank you. So, when it comes to family, what would you tell your future children about this sabbatical that you took off to create a life that is fitting for you and your well-being?
So I would tell them if it's something you ever feel you need to do, you should do it. That there's more than one way to live your life. That if something doesn't feel good, don't do it. Don't always have to push through things that are uncomfortable. And that I didn't have any regrets doing it.
No regrets. I love
Yeah.
that. I love that. You mentioned a part about like your intuition. Do you feel like this time away you've grown closer to yourself to have that intuitive wisdom?
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely brought a sense of even awareness of like how I'm thinking, what I'm saying, like certain behaviors that I have. I'm like, whoa, like let me just walk that like certain like maybe even negative like self-talk or like, oh, I should be doing this. And it's like, oh wait, like I don't have to. So it's definitely helped me to slow down and slow down my thought processes for sure.
I love that. I love that. How do you get back your childlike energy? Like, what keeps you youthful? I know you still have your plants.
Yeah.
One remedy, could you
Yeah.
elaborate? That's also a version of your creativity.
Honestly, the biggest thing are my indoor plants and like moving them around and like making my environment want it to be. As a
Okay.
child, like I was that person that like would be up like at 10 o'clock moving around their furniture in their room, just trying to trying to like do something different and like trying to bring like a new energy to the space. So I feel like that is what you see behind me. Like I moved this like at least like 10 times this month, just trying to
This
like,
month?
yeah. Like, I don't know what it is, like, when I can make my space feel cozy, it brings, like, that childlike,
Mm.
energy out where it's like I put on some music, I got myself a pizza, it's like I'm just making it a cozy cocoon, so that I feel like that has been, like, the biggest way that I have been able to get back to my childlike self.
I love that. It's like, it's so interesting how we have these heavy moments in life, and then the simple pleasures that we enjoyed as a child, we tap into it again as an adult, and it just becomes this beautiful like escape. And it's
Yeah,
like I can almost see you. No, I didn't know you as a kid, but it's like I can almost see you in your apartment, which I've been to, and just see
yeah,
you moving stuff around and just
mhm,
enjoying the things that don't even cost money, but makes you feel light and free. Are you
yeah.
into feng shui?
I am. I don't adhere to it fully just because I don't know. It's just like I feel like sometimes that even that can be limiting where it's like I
Yeah.
overthink it, but I do, yeah.
I
Like
love
I make sure I don't have my back to the door. Like that's a huge principle in feng shui and stuff like that. So
So when you're moving things, is it becoming more like you want this a certain vibe or feeling that you're going for, or is it just because you want a new, are you playing with the idea of interior design? Like,
It's more like I just want a different perspective. Like it's like it's honestly it's like my intuition or it's a feeling that like all right, like I want something new. Like it's been looking like this for like, a week. I want to just change it. This is something in my space that I could control. Like let's just switch it up. Like, I never knew the light hit this direction of the room like that. I want to, you know. So that's more where it comes from.
I
It's just like
love that. I
yeah.
love that. And this brings me to personal conversations we've had. And I feel
Yeah.
like it could really help other people hear this part. The way you said you've been moving slower with
Mhm.
the things that you've poured into, like your plants, which has turned into remedy, but it's
Yeah.
not something that you're rushing to be something grander. What do you feel like helped you discover that it doesn't need to be something big or a huge business? When did you have that moment, that realization?
I don't know. When I started to think about Remedy as like a business plan, like what I would do, how I would make the money, I could just feel myself like, okay, we have to do this, we have to do that. Like I just felt like a weight. Like it started to not the creativity, the willingness to like the wanting to do it started to go away. Where I was like, oh, why am I feeling like this? And I was like, oh, because I'm like, oh, I need to sell this much in order to make this amount of money. And, you go into like this capitalistic point of view where it's like dollars and cents. And, if it's not making money, it don't make sense. And that kind of vibe. And I caught myself and I was like, wait, this is something that I care about. This is a part of my creativity. I don't necessarily want to, quote unquote, taint it yet if I'm not grounded, if the intention of me doing something that I love is there and it's not about, just making money. So I really had to like rein that back. And I was like, you know what, let me just do this a little bit at a time and then see where it goes instead of just like launching myself full in and like having a business plan and just like,
Yeah.
trying to, make it the next big thing so it could be in
Mhm.
Target. Like that's not the direction I want to go in.
I love that. I love the slowness of your life is
Mhm.
transitioning into a creative outlet that you've gone. And I know it's hard to see people building businesses, multi businesses, and having different companies take off. And you're in a world like, how do like you had the awareness. I feel everything that you're
Yeah.
saying has happened in a row. It's like now you have the awareness to step back and say, this is just an extension of myself. This
Hmm.
is how I share my creativity with the world and how you continue to find your peace. And I think the fact that you're growing slowly and just allowing it to be something as it evolves, that's
Yeah.
really beautiful because like me, I was like the complete opposite. It's like once something took off, I was just like, oh, well, how do I make it big and how do I do this? It's just like my brain
Hmm.
and just like you having us having like that the intake call, it has helped me redefine what I want detox art to be. And it's like, you know what? Just go slow. Like the God will bless the universe to make it big when it's supposed to be big. Like it's obviously
Right.
where it is because it's where it's supposed to be. And
Yeah.
hearing you just say, no, that
Yeah.
made me feel like she is not allowing society to dictate what her creative outlet should be. And I love that, and I hope other people who are putting pressure on things that bring them joy hear this and, like, it resonates with you, like, just let it grow organically.
Yeah, and thank you. Thank you for saying that because it's not easy though because it's you can see like a path of what it could be and what it could be takes over and then you're like, "Oh, so how do I get there?" And then by
Mhm.
the time that you're trying to make a plan to get there, it's like you've sort of lost the plot of why you wanted to do it in the first place.
Feel like maybe you're still in the molding state, like, you don't wanna just put like you said, taint it and make it one thing, and then you have this other idea of what it could be, and then, the pivoting, going back and forth, but,
Mhm.
that's one thing I've done. I've pivoted so many
Yeah.
times, so I love the fact that you're intentionally curating the space. Not to say I didn't intentionally curate my space, but
I was gonna say, 'cause you did it flawlessly. Yeah. Come on
yes,
now.
I'm
It's
very
okay.
intentional, but my scattered brain and not having like the right mentorship, another story. We're gonna get into that later. But I want people to understand Rachel and her story and where she is because it has helped me slow down,
Mhm.
appreciate nature,
Yes.
and just have these beautiful spaces that be a blog, it could be just a beautiful Instagram page, but it's like your way of being creative and it not being so heavy and having the weight on it. If you are into plants, you see that it is an art outlet, that it is a way
Yeah.
to peace and relaxation. And if there's anything that people heard today about your story, what is one thing that you want them to take away?
That you can live your life how you wanna live it. And I think it takes time, though, to really deconstruct in your brain the ways that maybe you've been moving that, society or just life has really dictated for you, and starting to unpack that and realize, if you wanna move slower, you can. You don't have to do everything that, sort of we have demanded from ourselves. You can slow down. And I know people are busy. Like, I 100% know that as somebody, who was waking up at 5 a.m., coming home at 8 p.m., had a 4-hour commute, you know, I know that life is really busy, but there are ways to slow down, and you just have to really, honestly look at what you want your life to look like.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
What is a creative practice or habit that you recommend to anyone who's feeling disconnected or stuck?
Do things for fun. Remedy honestly started because I used to like to quilt. Like, I'd like to just throw fabric together. Like, I was that person in home ec in high school and middle school that just like I would make random stuff out of things. So I think just like getting back, like we were talking about before, a childlike sense of creativity where you just doodle, or you just make things, or you just do things that make you feel good.
Yes, no pressure.
Yeah, that's the biggest part. We put so much pressure on ourselves. Like, and I'm speaking as somebody who used to put a lot of pressure on myself. Like, and it's like, for what? Doesn't make you
What?
grow.
That's
It's
the
dumb.
question of all questions. For what? For what
Yeah,
and for who? Like, why?
part for who? Like, your family, your people. Like, nobody wants you to be like, unhappy and like so hard on yourself. And
Mhm.
it's rough though.
Absolutely. I love that. Do you feel like you, since leaving college, you returning back to the quilting is you using your degree in a completely different way? Like, how do you feel about it?
How do I feel about the degree?
The degree as to today, as to how you use it in your life.
Um, it gave me that foundation to understand like what, fashion was. Honestly, the biggest driver that had me use my degree was, I think, my work ethic. It was just like, oh, I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna go to New York City. I don't know how, but I'm gonna make it. But that mentality also has hindered me, where it's like, you want to make it, you don't really check in like, why do I want to make it? What am I doing here? Like, you just have this roadmap and you're like, I don't know. I feel like for me, the creativity and the making stuff was always there, and the fashion design, I guess, sort of like refined it
Okay.
in a way.
Yeah. Seeing you when you like post about your fabric pots, is that what they're called?
The fabric planters, we're still figuring out the verbiage. Plant jacket. I don't know. We're
Plant,
just
ooh, ooh,
plant
plant
jacket.
jacket.
Vaughn came up with
Ooh,
that one, plant
huh?
jacket. Vaughn came up with the plant jacket thing.
That's hot. I'm sorry, you gotta trademark that real quick. TM
I he said, he was like,
plant
no, like, we
jacket.
plant jacket, like,
Like
something.
JKT, like how we, we abbreviate it.
Oh Lord.
Why not?
That's a good idea, actually. My thing was like, there's no zipper, there's no closure. It can't be a jacket.
Redefine your life, redefine the word.
That's not bad. Okay, you're making me feel better about it, because I was like, I don't know, Vaughn. Nobody's gonna know what a plant jacket is. Like,
You put it around the pot and you
I
take
don't
it off, and you put it around and you take it off. Oh my gosh, this is a beautiful idea, because just like you change your space, you're moving it around, you're
know.
changing the jacket. We're
Yes.
going for a blue theme, or we're going for a brown theme, we're going
Yep.
for a green theme. I just feel everything circulating around this redesign your life. And I don't know, I just see all the synchronicities. Oh my gosh.
It's so cool.
But plant jacket. But look, when I look at you doing like the plant jackets, it makes me feel good that we're still using our degree to some extent. They just strengthen our skills in a sense. It's like it's always been there, like you said, but we're
Yeah.
still in the lane of using
Mhm.
this skill set. So I wish you success there. It's going
Yeah.
to be amazing when it's ready, when it's ready.
Thank you.
But yeah, think about plant jacket.
I will after this. I'm about to be like, plant
Yes.
jacket.
What is next on your life design journey?
I think just honestly, like thinking about my career and what I want to do next. And I separate my creativity from my career. My career is the thing that I do to make money to be able to live. So just really thinking about that and figuring out where I want to go with that.
I know that was a beautiful statement to have at the very end of this conversation, because one thing that, like, I'm not trying to bring scripture into this because, I
Uh
call myself
oh.
religious, but I am spiritual.
hmm
But if you want to talk Bible, it's like, I don't know it front to back, but I just know, Jesus was a carpenter, but
hmm
that wasn't his passion. And your
Right.
passion doesn't always have to be the thing that you capitalize on. It could just be a thing that is for you and for the people.
Talk
And if you
about
do capitalize on it, just like you said, I love the word tainted. Don't let it get tainted so that you hate it and you're not even in love with it anymore. So it's like, yes, separate the two,
it.
redesign your life, be
Right.
like Rachel. Don't put pressure. This was a whole scripture right here.
The
Whole
word.
word. I needed to hear this. I needed to hear this. Because I feel like now I'm just looking like, did I want to do fashion design? Or, like looking back, I honestly know, like I would have picked a whole different career and then had fashion and art on the side. Like I wouldn't have, but everything happened the way it happened. And here we are. Now I can tell the next generation, don't do what I did. Whatever.
Yeah. I mean, it comes from a place of like you want to succeed, and like the place to succeed is showing people what they want to see. But it's like
But what is success?
that's the problem though, is that we have like this like, generic success, narrative when it's like, no, you get to decide what your success looks like.
Yes, yes. Common said if he was, if he wasn't, even if he didn't make it to the point that he did, the fact that he would share his music, if only one person resonated with his music, that is success, because he was able to connect to someone somewhere. And I was just like, that's really beautiful. That was in his book, Let Love Have the Last Word. And when I read that, it just allowed me to remember that success is not measured by money,
Right. Yeah, it's an authentic expression that sometimes it takes a while to find it though. Some people never find it. So I feel lucky that we both have been able to have these kind of lessons
Yes, yes.
early in life.
And honing into our passions.
Mhm.
This is beautiful. Thank you, Rachel,
Yeah.
for being a part of this. I'm excited to share it with everybody. Everyone, be sure to follow Remedy and
Yeah.
support Rachel on her journey of plants and movement of life
You know,
design.
love
Hope I
that.
said that
Great.
right. My name is Britt. This is Rachel. Thank you for listening. Drop gems in the chat, like the video, subscribe, share, and give it to your best friend because they need to hear this word too. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to tune in to the next episode of The Art Remedy with a new guest soon.